protocol. And then the I Spy. Eventually, I want to just do a handler's exam, but for now, we'll just do I Spy, and then we'll talk about the manual. I know that I had some areas that I wanted to make sure we hit upon, and then Andrea has some things that she would like to touch base with you on as well. And just when you do read the manual, just, I love the way that we can just look at it online and then go, oh, okay, I'm interested in this area right here. And then you can click on that. That's kind of nice. And maybe the other one did it and I just hadn't figured it out. I don't know. But okay, here we go. Go ahead and let your puppy be in any position they want. And we're going to sit for 5 seconds. That means sit or down. And treat your puppy. Again, these are not, we're not marking and rewarding, we're just treating. Sit for 10 seconds. And treat your puppy. And if you have an older puppy, I want you to take 2 steps away. If you have a younger puppy, just a half a step and back. And treat your puppy. And I'd like you to clap softly once. And treat your puppy. And you're going to turn your head over your look over your shoulder. Oh my God, look over your shoulder and say, just a minute, and treat your puppy. And I like to put both hands up in the air and yell, Yahoo! And treat your puppy. And you're going to march in place. And treat your puppy. And you're going to walk halfway around and back. And treat your puppy. And you're going to pretend to tie your shoe. And treat your puppy. I'd like for you to go to the closest wall or table and knock and come back. As long as your puppy's able to handle all of this up until this point. And treat your puppy. And then you're going to release your puppy. Okay. And say yes. And jackpot. Good job. All righty. Then we're going to go ahead and go on to I Spy and handling your puppy. I'm going to tilt this a little bit more if I can. All right. Okay. And this isn't a mark and reward. As long as your dog is accepting of this, then mark it as soon as they are accepting and then reward it. So use your right hand if that's your treat hand. And you're going to touch puppy's back. Mark, yes. And treat your puppy. And then touch your puppy's chest. Yes. And look at your puppy's eye. Yes. And touch your puppy's ear. Yes. And touch your puppy's belly. Yes. And I'm going to have you touch their puppy's front forearm and go all the way down to their paw. Yes. And touch your puppy's collar. Yes. And touch your puppy's tail. Yes. And touch your puppy's hip. Yes. And open your puppy's mouth and look at their teeth. Yes. And do the same thing, but this time I want you to touch their tooth. Yes. And go ahead and release your puppy. Okay, good job. Julie's like, I'm all in. This is like the best.
That's not lasso, that's Tula.
No, yeah, Lasso's in
Okay.
Michigan right now. So
Okay.
this is my stand-in doggy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I was
Pam
like,
will be,
man,
yeah, yeah, no. Well, Lasso's pretty good, but
I was like,
yeah,
man, he got pretty big though.
I know. Well, you know what? He is Lily's size, so
Okay.
he has grown a bunch, but okay, so we're just going to go ahead and spend the rest of the time talking, and I'm just going to bring this a little closer and pull that up. That so, I wanted to talk to you about the things that kind of at the beginning of the book up until like I think 82 is where I kind of stopped, but some things that I thought were different and maybe they weren't. Andrew and I were like, okay, we'll do the best we can here, but to me, the crate was emphasized a little bit differently, where um, they are um, they would like to see us use it like at nighttime, and I think Andrea touched on that. Um, so really working hard on crate training in the beginning and getting them used to it. Things that you can do are feeding the dog in the crate. That's always a good thing. Storing toys in the crate where they know that's a safe place. But and at night when you are have the puppy in the crate at night, we tend to put it in the beginning on the nightstand so that I can put my hand there and help soothe them if they cry. The other thing that stuck out to me was that they have us removing their collar now. So that's for a safety reason. And you can just take it off and, have the puppy go in. And in the morning, you can put it back on. But they don't want the collar to get hooked up. Same thing during the day, especially if you're going to go to the store, you're crating your puppy, make sure that collar is off. All right. And travel, they have touched on that as well. You
Mhm.
can use the crate as part of your travel in the back. Puppies' joints are not fully formed. I think it's 11 months. So, be mindful of that. You're going to be boosting your puppy up and helping your puppy down. Or they can ride in the dear, I got two dogs on that pink, sorry. They can ride in the passenger well. We put I learned through trial and error not to use their leash because they chew it. And so I have a metal uh, leash that I use. It's a chain about this long, and then I can circle it around the bar that moves the seat, and then attach it to their flat buckle collar, not the martingale, the flat buckle, and that's safe too. To be quite
Mhm.
honest, when they're little, what I didn't have that trouble with Lasso, but I did with my first puppy, chewing things that they could get to that I couldn't see because I'm driving. So, a couple of things you could do is make sure somebody's with you when you're traveling in the beginning, or just training in your driveway where you get in and you just reward them for four on the floor. I put a kitty litter box in mine. Oh yeah, I did this with Lasso too. I had a wooden box that I would put in the well, and that way, if he started chewing, it wasn't gonna uh, hurt my wires of the electric seat. And I know somebody that happened to, so that's just kind of like letting you know. Nobody we know, right? But letting you know that that could happen if you choose that type of travel. The other thing I noticed is that, you know, getting your dog out of the car, make sure that you have them wait. They don't just automatically jump out. It's a safety thing. And something I took a Finzi class a number of years ago, and this really helped me. So I'm going to share. I think this would be absolutely fine, Andrea. Keep an eye on me on this one. But
Yeah,
as
okay.
soon as, as soon as the puppy comes out, of course, they're on the lead. As soon as the puppy comes out onto the street, I marked it so that when their feet touched the ground, I said yes, and that turned them back to me. Instead of going forward, they turned back to me, and that was a really super good tip for me, especially when we started doing that out of the back of the car. So um, that's just an idea. Same thing on the car travel, and you've got a crate. Um, they are making exceptions on the color for that for safety reasons. But while your puppy is in the crate, go ahead and hook them up before you let them out of the crate so that you have that in place. So, are there any questions on any of these things so far? I don't want to wait till the end to ask if there's
Just make
anything.
sure you guys unmute. I have everybody muted, so.
Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead to parking the dog, not the
Mhm.
car. And so this is, I don't know, again, I don't know if that was new, but to me, Lasso was trained on lead. I didn't move my feet. And let me just say how wonderful that is. You know, instead of going on a sniffy walk and let them decide when to park, you get to decide when and where they park. So having the puppy on lead, um, you get to the spot where you want to, parking them in your yard, and you just stand there and you don't move your feet. And then, you know, you're going to, if it's a young puppy, you're going to be saying, as soon as they start that stream, which I think this might be different too, you say
Mhm.
park. You don't say park. You just say park, nice and easy. And then when they're done, then you mark it. Yes. And so that's kind of different for me. But they also talked a little bit about vaccines and when the puppy can go out and about. And we spent some time talking as counselors with this as well. And so it isn't that your puppy can't go anywhere until they're 17 weeks old, you know, 2 weeks after the last shot, the rabies shot. But they can. It's just where do you choose to take them? So you wouldn't choose a pet store. You wouldn't choose past a dog park, any place that has other dogs, high frequency. That's not where your puppy belongs. Your puppy can go to the bank with you. The puppy can go to, like, say, a Kohl's, and maybe you just want to people watch. Maybe you're not comfortable taking the puppy in to the store, so you decide to park outside, which is what I do. The longer I'm doing it, the more I figure out, okay, I'm not going to take the puppy into Kohl's, but I might, you know, take a 9 week old puppy and just stand outside of Kohl's. 1 to 2 minutes, not very long, but getting them exposed in a safe environment is what leader dog would like to see. So high traffic areas, not until they're fully vaccinated. Um, Low traffic areas where they are not other dogs are going to be coming in contact with your puppy. You're keeping them safe. So,
Yeah,
all
this
right.
past weekend, we always meet outside of PetSmart and we had a brand new puppy. So we actually do our classes outside, but I actually found a spot where there no traffic, no people walk, no dog, no nothing. I'm like, let's go around the corner and work over here today. Plus we were in the shade and there was nobody bothering us and we could really spread out. So it was really nice. But I made that accommodation because we did have the little puppy with us because I knew they didn't have all the right vaccines and stuff, and I wanted to keep them away from that door and all of that traffic as well. So, as puppy
Yes.
counselors, we need to be aware of that as well. So, um, I mean, worst case scenario, I would have said, well, you might want to take them over there because you
Yeah.
can't fit in the class. So hard to do, but he ended up sleeping 95% of the class anyway. So, but yeah, that was something to be mindful of just for us as well as a little reminder.
Good job. Good job. They also talk about the fear period, the first fear period and the second fear period. And I think that's on page 71. But that first fear period is from 9 to 12 weeks. So just be aware that your puppy may not be as calm in certain situations, or they may be a little bit afraid. So maybe they're used to being at Menards, and you go past something that scares them, like a Halloween thing, just be mindful of that. Keep the distance. Don't flood them. With these young puppies, they don't need a lot of 1 and 2 hour excursions. We're just talking a few minutes, that type of thing. But so that's your first fear period. The second one is, I don't want to double check. I think it's no, sorry, it's 9 to 12 months. So just be mindful of that. I love that the phrase "distance is your friend." That is such a perfect phrase because
Mhm.
I mean, that's something that's easy to remember, and then it just comes to you where you're seeing your dog react. There's some sections too in the manual that I didn't get to yet, but we talk about body language and learning to read your puppy and getting to know your puppy, and those are things that are super important. So if your puppy's ears are laid back and you're close to something they're obviously not comfortable with, then you're going to back it up and give them plenty of space and then move on. So, okay. Then we're going to talk about puppies that are mature. And so this is something different too, where, Leader Dog is asking us when your puppy goes into heat, starting from that first sign of heat all the way to 21 days, your puppy stays at home. So they're not going out and about, they're not going to classes, none of that. You're staying at home, stay safe. They also, there's a bathing section of, you're not going to be bathing your dog when they're in heat.
Mhm.
There's yeah, that, keep an eye on that too. But what we did, and probably the thing I'm the most comfortable with, I did have a breeding mom several years ago, and she still needed to exercise, right? So we were allowed to take our dogs, our moms, for walks in the neighborhood where we knew the traffic, we knew the dogs and all of that stuff. Would I have her sniff on that walk? Probably not, because I don't want her to pick up anything. So I'm going to have her sniff in the yard before I go, and then take her on the walk. I live in a subdivision, so I went right down the middle of the street. I was sure that she was just fine, and then bring her back and let her sniff back in our yard. And those were I used sniffing as rewards. And so some raisers are more comfortable putting their puppies, their females, in fancy pants, and that is fine. I would just make sure you park them before you put them on. Not that I would know, but
I know.
that's an easy thing to forget. So yeah, make sure you do that. And for males, um, they're looking at marking. So for females, it's in season. For males, it's marking. So just be sure that you have an eye on that and interrupt that behavior, redirect them if you see that your puppy is starting to mark. So this is my first go round with a male dog. So so far so good. I've looked to see if, in the house and they start sniffing, I'm like, okay, let's go outside. But in their yard, if they mark, they are okay with that. But no, definitely not in jacket. Definitely not, in public where they start sniffing, a pole, like a light pole or a fire hydrant, those kinds of things. Just kind of be careful of that. Again, that's in 78. And then you can kind of look a little deeper into that if you have questions. And so the treating sequence is something that, that's part of this month's thing for us to concentrate on. And so something that they added to this, they have you observe, they have you mark, like, okay, that puppy is doing exactly what I want to do. So you're going to mark that yes. And then you're going to reach. So I believe they put that observe, mark, reach, reward. Reach
Right.
is to remind you that, okay, now it's time to get into my pocket,
Yeah.
because a lot of times, and I've been known to do it, where I mark, I anticipate this is going to happen, and I say yes, and oh, my hand's already in my treat bag. And I don't want the puppy to look at my hand. I want them to focus on what we're working on. So my hand is in a meow, neutral position right here until after I say the mark, yes, then I reach and then I reward. I make sure that it's going straight to the puppy's mouth and it is, you think you're going to get something, don't you? You need a dumbbell. Okay, so yes. And
You said the right
um,
word, so you got both of
she
them. They're like,
knows.
yes.
Yeah, and I'm going to put it right here at the seam of my pants. So left side. Um, and then this is something that kind of stood out to me too, where they talked about um, the frequency rewarding. So
Yes.
I, yeah, this is something I really want to touch base with you on. When they're learning a new skill, there is a high rate of reinforcement. So you're saying yes a lot, you're marking it a lot, you're delivering the treat, you're really wanting them to learn this skill or cue, whatever you're working on. And they know it. They get it. They're getting it. They're, 8 out of 10 times they've got it. So then we go to moderate. And so you're doing the treating still to have the success, but you're not treating like you were in the beginning. So it's high rate, moderate rate, and then the low rate where they got it, no problem. Their down is perfect. And so I may do something like ask for a down, a touch, a sit, and walk a few steps, a heel, and then I mark it. So just kind of think about stretching that out as your puppy learns. So um, and then probably the last thing I'm flooding you. This is called flooding. um, it's the three core training, and I don't talk about it a lot, and I really should. Where we talk about duration, distance, and distraction. So if you think about those three things, concentrate on one of them and make sure the other two aren't interfering with the learning. So, for example, maybe I'm working on duration, and that's one of the things maybe we were going to be sitting for duration today. I want to make sure that I am doing that in an area that is not a big deal for my dog. It would be probably right here. Um, how long am I asking it to hold that? Whatever the skill, whatever I'm asking them to hold. So it could be a sit. And so for our new puppy, if I can get 1 second out of a sit, I'm going to think that's pretty special. And if I can get 2 seconds, that's great. And just a side note, that relaxation protocol really helps with this stuff. I really would encourage you to do that every day, especially in the beginning. And then, if you go down to 2 or 3 times a week, that's fine. But in the beginning, I would highly recommend it. Um, but anyway, so make sure you are feeding or rewarding that puppy while they're in the position. Sometimes we can't help it. We say yes and they move. But and if that is the case, you have to go ahead and reward them. But use that knowledge for the next time. So maybe they were like, okay, we're going to go for 5 seconds, and at right before five, and I say yes, and up they go. So just kind of be aware of that. Don't try to increase it too fast. There's no race here. We've got a whole year with our puppies. So take your time as you start to work on that duration. Um, the distance, that's a space factor. So it could be the physical gap between you and your dog, or it could be a trigger, another dog, a ball bouncing in the yard, a child runs by. So think about, as we just said, distance is your friend. Think about that, staying close to your puppy, and then maybe you can take a step away and try and ask for that same behavior. And maybe my dog has a sit. Who wants to do this? Can you guys see me? I need to.
Now you got to bring it down.
Okay, sorry. Yeah,
That's okay.
yeah, we haven't practiced this, but we'll see what happens. Then so sit. Oh, they got to go to the mat. Okay, I'll move. Okay, and so maybe I'll ask, I might, and I don't know if they're going to do this, but I might say, stand. Yes, that is what I'm talking about. Where you can, once they have the skill, and okay, maybe they have it this way, but now I'm going to give a little distance, and I'm not going to be right next to them. And so, yay, Lily. You might get a Kong for that. That was really good. Okay. Again, we're going to be teaching this in a quiet room just like this. Um, Always start in an empty room if you have like not a lot of distraction. Um, yeah, I'm sorry. Um, when you have a real trigger, take it slow. So the dist you can't really have a dog come into your house, right? That well, actually you could, but for the most part, something that catches you off guard, just take it slow. So you're out on a walk, a dog is barking, and your dog looks, turns and looks. So, maybe you have to go to the other side of the street. It just kind of play that by ear, but that's a really good section to take a look at the 3Ds because that is the core of our training. All right. I think that about takes up my time, your time there. Sorry, it was a little winded, but
No, it's okay.
I know that Andrea had some things that she wanted to talk to you about as well.
The biggest thing I wanted to say to everybody as you're going through the manual, if you come up with a question, you're uncertain about it, email Pam and I right away because her and I can go back, look at that section of the manual, and we can discuss it to make sure we're on the same page and understanding the same thing before we come back to you because we might have to go to Leader Dog and go, okay, Pam thinks this and I'm thinking this. So what's right? What are you guys
Right.
looking for? That way we can come back to you and give you the right answer. But we're also going to come back into the class and we'll touch on it in the next class so everybody has it. Because 9 times out of 10, when one person has a question about something, somebody else does. And you just may not know how to ask the question, or you didn't get to that part and you're like, oh, yeah, I would have been confused on that too. So let us know right away so we can start touching on those. The other thing is I want to do a class where it's a little bit more fun for you. What are you guys looking for in class? Is there something that you want to try that you want us to explain, to go through? And just work on it. Even if it's something that's not Leader Dog approved, 9 times out of 10, we can modify it to make it Leader Dog approved. So we want to make sure that you're having fun games and fun experiences here as well. So we definitely want to hear that. So if you have a thought or something, feel free to shoot it our way and just say, this is what I'm thinking, and if we have more questions about it, we'll contact you and we'll talk about it and we'll say, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Or is it okay if we modify it to this? Is that what you were thinking? Or, just to make sure it's fun and that you guys are all learning new things. The other thing is if you do something cool that's with your puppy that's not in the manual that works for you, let us know. We can share those tips and tricks as well, because everybody does things different. Nobody is right. Nobody's usually wrong. So it's good to share those things with everybody because somebody else might be struggling with something and hasn't really brought it to anybody's attention, but something you've struggled with and said, hey, I found this really works. That's why I like having other counselors in our classes as well, because they pipe up and say things as well. Hey, well, we've tried this and we've had great success with it. So always feel free to step up and share your idea or tip or trick. Um, that's what we want. That's partly what this group is for too, is to help everybody learn and grow together. Because everybody's at different levels. Everybody has a different type of dog, different age dog and stuff. So, I mean, I'm not the greatest raiser. So, somebody else might be a lot better at it than me, which is fine.
Oh,
Everyone's got their own style.
I wouldn't say that. I would not say that. Something that I'm noticing, I don't know if you guys, and Stephanie, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you're doing such a great job there. If you guys can see the gallery on your device, if you touch on gallery, you're going to see everybody in this meeting. And Stephanie has her puppy on a ground tether. And every time that puppy was able to give a loose leash, she was rewarding the puppy. So I love that, Stephanie, that you're doing that right now. So thank you for that. But it's like that is, a high distraction, that sweet little baby, and the puppy is getting all kinds of great distractions that we
Yeah,
just talked about. And
Trying to keep
so,
him from biting the baby's toes, that's all.
yeah, but again, it's so great to see that in action. So thanks, Stephanie.
yeah. You've only had him, what, a week?
Yeah, a week and a half or so. It's almost 9 weeks, I think.
And
Too bad.
this is a Smaby pup, I think, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. That's awesome.
What
That's
is
awesome.
Encore's tag number? That is one thing I don't have.
He is 23122.
23122. Okay, I just want to make sure that I have it. So when I put your puppy scene in, I can do it, and I'll add it to my sheet here because I have your information in there, everything but his puppy number. So I'm like, oh, I got to get that.
Have the brother in the group.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Which one?
2313.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, he's really awesome. He's like he's got some spunk, but also I don't know. He's got a lot of good focus, so he's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah. That's
good.
cool. Aw.
Awesome.
I,
Does
I, real quick, because I'll forget. But when Andrea was talking about sending emails to us, and I love that idea. If you have ideas, feel free to CC one of us on it. That way, we both get the email. We may not both always respond, but certainly, it's always nice to be on the same page, especially with
Mhm.
distance raising, as you all know, is a challenge. And so it's just very different when we don't have the time to meet in person, or don't have the ability to meet in person because we're also far away. But
Yeah,
anyway, that is super helpful. Thank you.
it
And
is. And I'm happy to see our Traverse City group is growing. I know our last class we had a visitor and they had two puppies, so that was fun. But I know Julie's getting hers and she's in Traverse City. So I'm trying to get Lucky to our classes. He's from Harbor Springs, but I'm also going to start seeing if I can move it around a little bit, give him a little bit different environment too. Petoskey is a good area, lots of good places to go and stuff. So different things to do, different sets of stairs because they have the people walk and everything. I think that would be just a fun class in itself to do that with everybody. I think that would be fun. But yeah, if anyone's got any questions or anything or any concerns with your puppy, feel free to point them out now and we can discuss it and go over it and
Marlo
help you out.
I have a comment and a question. My comment is we're talking about relaxation protocol. I do that with my puppy regardless of the age when I go somewhere new. Like even if it's just for a couple minutes. I usually have a mat with me, but even if I don't have a mat, I just feel like once they get in that and they're used to doing it, that it just kind of like sets them, calms them down, gets them ready to be locked in with me and focused on what we're doing. So regardless of the age of my puppy, I almost always do that when I'm going somewhere new, or even if she's just super amped up for whatever reason, we're going to start with that and move forward. And then my second question is, Presley's biggest weakness are meet and greets and children. She gets very excited. So obviously keeping distance and really limiting any interaction. Sometimes it's not possible. And I have a question I'm going to ask you. I train with a local trainer here. And we were working on just teaching our puppies other fun skills, like just beyond just basic obedience. Presley, come on. Presley, legs. Oh, hold on. I'm blocking the way here. Presley, legs. Nope. You got it. You can do it. Nope. Come on. Legs. She's backwards, but come this way. Legs. So we were meeting, we're on a neighborhood walk and we were talking with neighbors. They have 5 little children. Yes. And I was really having a hard time keeping her, calm and stuff. And I put her in this position and she stayed here and stayed calm while I could have a conversation. Is that okay?
We
There's
will
nothing wrong
ask,
with
but
that.
I don't know why it wouldn't be. That is an
Yeah.
awesome idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will ask, but I love that.
Yeah, she wasn't trying to get out of her gentle leader. She just stayed right here, and the kids were literally within a few feet, and I could have a conversation, because otherwise, trying to ground tether her, she was
Right.
just trying to like get out of everything.
Okay.
Good girl. Yeah, so
No,
I
I think that's perfectly fine. I think it's acceptable. Yeah, we will clarify with leader dogs and make sure that's okay. I highly doubt they'll say it's not, I'm sure they'll be fine with it as well, because one of the things is, leader dogs learn to lay under chairs and everything. So I kind of look at it like that, if they're in a
That's-
small confined space, we want them to be comfortable with that. So
Right.
that's a
Yeah,
perfect
she
example.
she like her energy went down. She was more calm. Obviously, we'll continue to work on the meet and greets. But I
Okay.
thought for the moments and the times when she's really just, overexcited, and I can't remove her, and I can't add more distance. That seemed to work for her.
I like
I
it.
think that's great. I
I
like it
like it a
too.
lot. Thank you,
Because
Marlo.
it helps your dog calm down. It helps you keep control as well. And it also keeps everyone else away, because how many people are going to want to reach to pet a dog between your legs?
Between your legs, right?
Yeah.
You
And that
know,
is,
so
Good
that's
point.
really smart.
yeah, it's a really good skill. It's not like we're teaching them how to fist bump, right?
Right.
It's a good skill. And thank you for sharing that about RP, because yeah, that is important to talk about. I do the exact same thing. Just I do take my mat with us most places, because it does help focus that puppy, especially if you're doing it every day, that they're like, okay, I know this routine. And a lot of times that excitement, it's over the top, and that helps them refocus and get, connected with you. So thank you for sharing that, Marlo.
Yep.
Nope, that's
Okay.
perfect. That's what we
Um,
want.
Yeah, and then I also wanted to say, I know there's going to be three. Pat, I think you've got a puppy coming. Yeah? Do you have a puppy coming, Pat? No, not yet. Okay. Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh, you're muted,
She's
Pat.
muted. But I know that with brand new raisers, I meet with them 2 to 3 times, depending on their schedule. Those of you if you're comfortable and you're good, that's fine. If you want to meet with me one-on-one and just talk about things, I'm happy to do that. I won't bug you about it, but you certainly, I can certainly do that with you. It would be fun. So just let me know. Okay.
I have a question. Um, so Shanti's definitely a little wary of the world,
Yeah.
which is different than Zoe. Zoe was just kind of fearless, chill, and whatever for the most part. But sometimes I can see or hear what might like kind of catch her attention. Most times I can't.
Okay.
And she's just freezing and refusing to move, even to like reverse. At what point do we just like rely on the peanut butter transport tube to be able to turn around? Like she's old enough that I feel like we shouldn't need some of that, but also like I understand that she's came from the prisons, so she may
Right.
need some of that. So like I just some guidance of like, okay, it's usually nothing. Like I can't hear something, I can't see something, but like last night she refused to move off the porch to go park before bed because she saw something. I couldn't see anything even with a flashlight, and she just refused to get off the deck because and she made it through the night. It was fine. Like she's old enough that she can hold it for
Sure.
a while, but like I just it's the refusing to move, and I can kind of figure out, okay, during our neighborhood walks, but she has frozen at and barked at plants, hydrangeas. It's been little dogs, it's been a lot of nothing. It could be the wind, it could be a shadow. She just barked at something. There's nothing outside. Not an animal, not like, so I don't know. I just don't know. I want to build her confidence.
So what I would do with her, with that, knowing that she came from the prison system and it's a totally different world because it has completely expanded for her. So it's really scary for her. So it's kind of like she's that little itty bitty puppy and they're realizing their world is expanding and they're like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. just take her places and just sit with her. Let her observe the world, treat her, different spots, low activity, high activity, moderate.
She
Even
did
if,
great yesterday. I took her downtown Harbor Springs and we went
Okay.
in a couple of stores, but it was like later in the day and it's not ever really busy down there unless it's the weekend.
Mhm.
And then we sat on a lot of benches and she did really well. I'm seeing it more like the really only walks. Otherwise, we've only gone around the block in my neighborhood. So I haven't
Okay.
expanded beyond my neighborhood or beyond Harbor Springs yet. Like we kind of keep going back to the same places. And I'm
that's
fine with
building the
that.
confidence too.
Okay.
Because she's becoming familiar with those places. So she's gonna be like, oh, cool, I know this. It's not different. This is, we've been here before. So like when you do take her to Petoskey,
Right.
she's gonna probably freak out on you and be like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
We were
So,
supposed to go today and I, for
okay.
different reasons, didn't go to Petoskey. And I'm thinking maybe that was for the better and we'll just
Yeah.
continue to focus on Harbor until, I mean, like I said, she did beautiful yesterday, but I just keep seeing a little bit of that fear response. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't be in that fear period, but yet because of your
Yeah.
raising is different.
Yeah.
She's had a
Um,
lot of change. So, and the environment has completely changed on her. So yeah, treat it like she's a brand new puppy.
Okay.
And,
So if
and
I
go
need
with
to do
those
a
baby
peanut butter
steps.
transport to get her out of
Yep.
that freeze motion in our neighborhood walk, that's totally fine.
Yeah,
Yep,
and
absolutely.
I think it's okay, Erin, not to take her on the neighborhood walk. If it is too distractive,
It's hit and miss. Some days we walk and no issue, and other days it's a couple.
okay. And it could be a sound that you're hearing. So, if her area, maybe it's just walking in your backyard. Or
Yeah.
maybe it's just walking on your driveway. Just shrink her world
Yeah.
because it's like it does remind me of a brand new puppy that's like, wow. Shrink it
Yeah.
and pretend like she's 9 weeks old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, little steps and, is it the loose leash walking? Is she pulling you or no?
No,
Okay.
she walks loose
Good.
leash,
Okay. Okay. So it's,
almost to a fault too slowly. Like I'm like,
I
come
got
on,
one of those.
let's go.
I don't mind
If
it.
we're not a loose leash, it's because I'm walking too fast for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It's all
not
right.
the other way around.
But yeah, I would
Gotcha.
shrink it. I would,
Okay.
1 to 2 minutes. Maybe that's all she needs right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, just, think about what we talked about with flooding. And
Well,
it's
yeah,
shrink
I
it.
did not get to that point and just kind of keep it slow
Right.
and steady.
Right. See, because nighttime outside is probably very different for her.
Well, and who knows? I live in the woods.
Yeah.
It could have
Yeah.
been
Right.
raccoon, it could have
Oh,
been.
yeah.
I mean, we've got foxes and deer and
Yes.
the whole forest family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that could be, step outside every couple of hours and just listen and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
come inside. Just
Because during the daytime,
little
she
bits.
loves the backyard.
Yeah.
She's
Okay. So it's the
been
night, and it's like
exploring.
she probably
Yeah,
hasn't
she
been out a
plays
lot at night.
nicely
So.
outside. She'll take one of the. She likes the Jolly Ball, I think, because it's.
Yeah.
And she'll take that and just do like
I love it.
mini laps. And actually, she explored a little too much and found a bee's nest.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, the guy came last night. It's dead, and the area is blocked off. It's good, but
Okay.
it's just at night. But
Yeah,
I'll just continue to keep it slow and just. honor
Yeah.
her.
Right.
Even if her
And keep
walk
us-
is, like Pam said, start in front of the house and then expand to like 3 houses and come back. Maybe try that at night once. Not quite when it's super dark, but when it's starting to get dark. And then
Yes.
to help build that confidence, because she's going to hear those sounds. She'll hear cars, deer, whatever, because their hearing is so much more intense than ours.
Yeah.
So of course she's going to hear things that you're not hearing. I mean, for all you know, she's
Yeah.
hearing a coyote howl and you don't hear it, but she is.
Oh, sure.
So she's being like, hey, I'm on alert here. What's going on? So yeah, just
Yeah.
try that. Even if it's just 1 or 2 houses and, and to just try that too, and building that confidence after you have a little bit of time where you're just sitting outside, even if it's driveway, porch, whatever, and
Sure.
just randomly treat her. let her know, reinforce that, that it's okay. We're here, we're together. Even
Yeah.
if you have to do the T-touch with her, that might also help her with
Yeah.
the night sounds and everything too, because that is completely new.
I wonder if just even, and Marlo, you may have some ideas, but I wonder if, feeding her outside on the porch where she was freezing, what if you just took her dinner out there and, fed her on the porch?
Yeah. It's not a bad idea.
Um,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like all the suggestions that you've given, especially taking her out every hour or two as it starts to get dusky and then a little bit darker. And it's not just their hearing; it's their smell, right? Like
Oh, for sure.
what she's smelling when you're out there. I have woods behind us, and so when I let them out, all of a sudden the dogs will be running along the fence. I don't see or hear anything, but clearly they do. Something's back there. So no, I like all those suggestions and the feeding. And I have, when you talked about the slow pace, one of my razors has a new pass along from the prison system. Well, two of them. The first one, she has to literally treat her like she's an 8-week-old puppy because she howled and howled and howled in the crate. Because in
Leave it.
the crate is in their cell with them.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
So she had the crate. She was thinking like all of her other puppies, she had the crate in the front room. And as soon as she left the room, the puppy was just like, oh, no. So we had to, you have to, again, you're exactly right. Think of where they came from and their environment. The other thing too is this puppy had no clue how to do stairs. Had never done stairs before, and the other puppy has a very slow pace. Doesn't stop, but just very slow. So we're working on slow games to try and vary that pace. But we don't know exactly what their situation was and what their exposure was. So I like all the suggestions.
We live pretty close to a park. So we sit out in front and Duchess gets to watch people on bicycles, strollers, people walking, people running. And we just sit there and she watches dogs go by. And it's just, she gets relaxed. She just watches her world go by. And it's really helped her when we are walking because she goes, oh, that's a bike. Oh, that's a person running. She doesn't really react anymore. So it's just exposure and what they watch, and how they do things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this discussion. I love it. Thank you for chiming in, you guys. This is great.
It is. This is what we want because we all learn together too.
We sure do.
Yeah, you always learn
Sure
something
do.
new.
Absolutely.
Every time, every month, something comes up and go, oh, that's a good idea.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, any other questions? Anything we could, okay.
No, we're dealing with birds flying around us and bees, and I keep looking around, and this little sparrow just seems to want to say hello really close.
That's
and
on
Duchess is
purpose.
being pretty good. She just lays there and kind of looks at him, but
good.
yeah.
RP is that would be a good place to do it too, Pat, doing RP outside.
Yeah.
Kind of like you were doing that. So that's great.
I do that all the time when she
That's
gets,
great.
if we're walking downtown or something and she gets kind of wiggly, I'll just say, sit for 3 seconds. And she just sits and looks at me. And then I say, time, and give her a treat. And it does focus them right away. So that is the best thing I've ever come across, is that relaxation protocol.
Yeah.
And it builds endurance and duration.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. It is a good tool.
Thanks, you guys. We have really kept you long today. So.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time and your patience as we